Okay,
Hello.
hello. One more Tuesday,
Another Tuesday. Here we are. The weeks are going by very
another
quickly. Before
day.
we know it, it's another Tuesday.
Yes, yes, another day, another Tuesday.
Yes, yes. Why is it that weeks go by quickly or time flies, by the way?
Production. If you produce, you have a lot of time. You actually so havingness has to do with the action. If you act, you will see that you will be able to have. So you will have more time to do things. You'll be busy. You'll have busyness, but you'll have time. So if you don't act, you won't have time and you will not have business. You will
Mhm.
never give something important to do to someone that is not busy because someone that have time because he's doing nothing.
Yeah.
So the more you do, the more you have. The same apply to energy. People think that they don't have energy because of some weird reasons, but the only reason is they don't do.
Hmm.
So if you want energy, all you have to do is to do.
Yeah. Yes,
And
true.
then you'll
I've
have.
I've seen that.
So energy, havingness is the result of doingness, not magic, not special energy drinks, and not all of this nonsense.
Yeah,
So it's
true.
not the
So
energy drink that give you the energy.
yeah. So when a day goes by super quick and you're like, whoa, the day's over, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's excellent. It means you've done things. You know, if you're in jail and you do nothing, the time do not move.
True, true.
So if you produce, time goes by fast. Now, if you produce noise but not actual results, what you will have is the time will go by fast, but you will feel that you did nothing, that nothing has
Yeah.
been produced. You will know. So a productive person that produces noise knows that he produces noise. And there is a whole subject of how to handle noise in life or in the business world. And once you learn how to handle noise, you'll see that you become extremely productive, like
Yes.
total results.
Right. It's such a great subject. We did a live a while ago. It's on our YouTube of how to handle
Mhm.
noise, which was great. I think we did two about that. And
Yeah.
you recommended there a whole course on the subject as well. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
We need to do a whole course on the subject of noise. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I think
The next course that I'm actually going to do is
yeah.
I don't think that I even told you, but I may told you. I'm going to explain how the body work, like what
Mm.
causes the heart to beat. How does it actually work? Why do you get sick? Why do you get tired? What's the story of the body?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
That's
that's something
great.
that
I
we will
love that.
start very. Yeah, that's something that will start very soon. In like two,
Oh,
3 weeks. That's my next plan.
whoa. Okay. I love that. That's going to be
Yes,
great.
I love it too.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
let's say
The
hi to
subject.
everyone.
Yes, and then
Let's,
we'll get into today's subject. But I was gonna say, let's say hi as well. So we have Facebook user said hi. Avi Budara
that's
sends.
Ellie.
Oh, Ellie. Okay, great. Hi, Ellie. And Avi Budara sends love and music. So hi, Avi. And Janet says wahoo. And Natasha says hi from the Goosens. And wow, wow, wow. So hello. And Punam. Hello, dear mayor, sir. Hello, brother Gal. Hi, Punam. And Anna says hello from Cape Town. And Ronel, hello from Dallas. Hello
Wow.
to you both. And Vishal says great and very appropriate subject. Thank you. Very
Yes, and hello
interesting.
from the UK, Vishal.
Yes, yes, from the UK, exactly. And
Janet
oh,
from
Jack,
LA.
yeah, Jackson Murphy. I miss you, man. He is also probably in LA right now and enjoy the coffee. And we have Harold that says hello, and Facebook user looking forward to the new course. Yes, and Anita, and hi from Anastasia, and hi from Barbara, and Gerard, and Stella, and yes, Margaret. Wow, we have a lot of people. This is great. Great to have you all
Okay,
on.
great. Okay, good. And
So,
just if you're on Facebook and we don't see your name, whoever wrote again.
Yeah.
It's someone that saw the video. Uh, so you can change that setting by going to chat.restream.io/FB. It's on the screen right now.
And then we'll see your name. And then Tommy says,
Okay.
hello from the mountains in Vermont. Wow, I'm
Well, nice to
jealous.
see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So today's subject is how to handle conflict. And this concept of handling conflict can apply in a super small micro way, like a relationship conflict or a conflict with, I don't know, business partners. And then in a big way, a macro way, which would be with the globe, a global conflict, right? I think
Yes.
that these principles, because it's truth, it applies to anything.
Okay.
So, how do you suggest we dive into the subject of how to handle conflict?
Okay. So conflict can happen between two people or two organizations, but organizations really don't have conflict. Countries don't have conflicts because groups are composed of individuals, and
Mhm.
those individuals are led by someone that is visible or not. So conflict are always personal. That's the first thing to know.
Interesting.
And
Always between people, not
always
groups.
between people, not groups. There's no conflict between Israel and the Arab world. No, there's specific people that promote the conflict, that make sure that it will stay alive. Otherwise, if you let people just live, they will live with generally no problem.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So conflict happened first of all between people. Now, when you have a conflict, it means that the relationship, the situation between two people got to a point where there are disagreements.
Right.
So you get married and you love your wife and everything is okay, and then you don't disagree with something she's doing, or disagree with the perfection in men. Go figure.
Yeah. 100%, of course.
Exactly. So, so you have a disagreement.
Right.
And what happened when you have a disagreement? Uh, you have the tendency of showing them why they disagree incorrectly, and why you are right and why they are wrong. And the
Yeah.
basic, simple, almost stupid thing that people don't know is that if you want agreement, you need to create more agreement, not disagreement. If the purpose is agreement with your wife, what you want is to bring more agreement and not to show her all the disagreements, not to tell her, look, I don't agree with what you're doing, I don't agree with what you wearing, I don't agree for how long you're wearing it, etc., etc. What you want to get to a position where you, oh god, it's frozen, I think, yes. So you want to get to a position where you actually find agreements, and the tendency would be to find disagreements. So this is the first thing that you need to know. You have a problem with your child, don't talk about the agreements. Don't look at the agreements. The agreement will not help you. Yes, what will help you, don't look at the disagreements. The disagreements will not help you. What will help you is the agreements. So this is the first thing. Now the second thing to know, that the reason you go automatically, oh, here is Gal back. Okay,
Hi.
Gali. Hi.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so number one, we spoke about agreements. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
so you need to look for agreements when there are disagreements. If there's disagreements, don't put more disagreements. And the question, of course, is why will you ever have a disagreement? Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. So why will you ever have a disagreement? In order to have a disagreement, the relationship has to become dirty. What hold the relationship together is the cleanness of the communication. Once you add dirtiness, what you get is disagreement. What you get is a
Yeah.
separation. And I want to show you a quick video that will demonstrate it, and then we'll talk about it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. And I speak on behalf of everyone. That's okay.
Okay, good. Here we go.
These are two pieces of metal. They aren't magnetic and they don't have any adhesives of any kind on them. The surfaces are smooth and they don't have any noticeable grooves. I can touch them together and they don't stick. However, if I slide them together like this, they stick together like super magnets. They are clearly stuck together and I can't even pull them apart. If I twist them apart, they'll go back to being separate pieces of non-magnetic metal. What's happening? Well, these are actually gauge blocks, which are blocks of smooth metal that are precisely manufactured to be certain lengths so machinists can calibrate their machines and measurement tools. The extremely smooth surfaces are why they stick together. Properly run gauge blocks can hold 75 foot-pounds of force before coming apart, and this actually is useful so machinists can combine gauge blocks of different lengths to essentially make more gauge blocks of many more lengths than they already have. They generally use the biggest ones they have so they can achieve the desired length without the small tolerances adding up.
Okay. So, okay, let's see. Now you hear me? I cannot hear you, Gali. Okay. Now, we lost you. I heard you for a second.
There we
Now
go.
I
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So yes, I
Okay,
was
good.
saying amazing. That video is brilliant.
Yeah, perfect. So what we have in a relationship is like two gauge blocks. At the beginning, you have two perfect, smooth surfaces. And when the two people get together, they really stick together.
Hmm.
And now, if you put any kind of dust, any kind of dirt particles, those gauge blocks will not stick together. The people will not stick together and they will start to blame. Now, what are those things that are, what is this dust? What is it composed of? The dust is composed of things that you feel you cannot tell the other person, things
Hmm.
that you're hiding, things
Yeah.
that you do that you wouldn't want someone else to do to you.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
moment that get introduced into a relationship, the relationship start to break. The gauge block do not actually stick together anymore, because in order for a relationship, in order for two people to get together, they need to be dirt in the middle. Now, the fascinating thing is most of the time the dirt is not created by you or by the other person. It's
Interesting.
created by, yeah, it's
Yeah.
created by a snake, a relationship snake that go and put the venom in between you and separate the gauge block. And this is a whole big subject of the relationship snake and how it works. But what you need to know is that it is usually do not get created by you, but it's still your responsibility to clean the gauge block. How do you clean the gauge block? You look for agreements. You
Yeah.
look for agreements, not disagreements.
Yeah, I see. So when you find more and more agreements, it acts as a healing kind of process for whatever is causing, obviously, the disagreements or
Cleaning.
what's causing the dirt.
It's actually cleaning. So you can
Yeah.
say that in a relationship, disagreement is dirt,
Hmm.
and agreement is cleanness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And what?
and it's not important what you agreed upon. The more it's the number of agreements, not the quality of the agreements, that make the relationship.
Yes. And now I think I'm sure I know the answer, but the question is, can the agreements be found one-sided? In other words, can one person look at their wife and agree with what she's doing? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So first of all, if you're married and you want to stay alive, you have to.
Yes. That's good. You better. You have no choice, in fact.
Exactly. Exactly. But the
Uh,
truth is, The truth is that's while it takes two people to um, to create a problem, or at least two people to create a problem, it takes only one to fix any problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? If this is a problem, two sides pushing against each other, yes, this is a problem. I want that, you don't want. If so, it's take two of us, two sides to create the problem, yes.
Right.
But
Right.
it's enough that one side will stop pushing, that this side cannot push.
Of
So
course.
if you decide that you don't have to push, then something magical happen. And the obvious question is, but how do I decide that I don't want to push against her? I want to kill her. I don't just want to push against her. So how do you do that? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So to really realize what's happening there, you need something quite amazing to understand. Yes, you really need to understand something amazing, and I'm going to draw that. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So this is a person. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is his mind. A mind is just the pictures, lots of pictures. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing all is a physical thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All of that thing is controlled by the spirit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the spirit is perfect. The spirit is totally perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are not perfect. The mind is not perfect. The body is not perfect. The environment is not perfect. Everything around the person here, anything physical is not perfect.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will see the things that come from the spirit are perfect and clean and generate immediate agreement because it's total perfection. And things that come from the mind, the body, entities, etc., are always less than perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to do as a person that has a relationship, you look at a person, you look at your child, when he's doing something as himself, this is him, this is not him, this is his car, this is what belonged to him. When he
Right.
does something as himself, you validate it, you work with it, you listen to it, you give it importance, you acknowledge it. When something comes from the insane universe, you just
Mm-hmm.
ignore it. Your wife tell you you're stupid. You say, thank you for telling me. That's all.
Yeah.
End the cycle. You don't answer logically because there's no logic.
Right.
You don't try to explain. You don't try to fix her. Nothing. It's not her. It's a machine. The car lost the brakes. What are you going to kick the car? Are you going to explain to the car? No, the car just lost the brakes. There's no, the brakes oil are missing. Whatever. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you really need to separate between the being, the spirit, which is you, or which is the person, and his actions and his belonging.
Mm-hmm.
If you can separate between those, you will be able to handle any relationship and you will have only agreement because the spirit, you, are perfect. And
Yeah.
anything that is not perfect is not you. But
Yeah.
only for as long as you allow everyone else to be at least as perfect as you.
Yes.
So
I
the
love that.
key for good relationship is the ability to separate between logical things, something that comes from the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and illogical things, something that comes from things that belong to the spirit.
Right.
And
Right.
it's really amazing to look with kids. You see the kids when they are themselves, they're more than angels. And when the spirit departed and their insanity got in, they can be monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that you behave to the monster, which is not the kid, like you behave to the kid.
Yeah.
And then you talk to him and you tell him why you did that. And he says, I don't know. Because he doesn't know, because he didn't do it. It's not him.
Mm-hmm.
You
Amazing.
really have to separate it. If you look at yourself at times where you behave not optimally, after that, you sit to yourself and say, don't know why I've done it. It's not me.
Right.
I
Right.
told to myself 50 times not to do it. Of course, yourself is not there at that time. So
Yeah.
the thing that you're doing it, you're talking to the wrong person.
So right. So what? That's so true. But what would you tell the kid after they snapped out of it? You wouldn't say to them, "Listen, that wasn't okay. We need to,
No,
control that next time." Or I don't know what. How would you handle that situation?
you tell the kids, there's you're perfect, and there's some
Mm.
actions that belong to you that happens. There's some you have a mind, you have other things that connected to you that you're not fully aware of them maybe yet, but they cause the body to react in a weird way, and it caused the body to say, not you, cause the body to say some things, and you need to really understand that it's happening, and you need to become more and more aware of it, and by that you will get control over it. So imagine
Just
that there
before you,
is.
just before you, I want you to say what you're about to say. But really quick, I want to add here that is actually you had done that with me. I remember from the age of, like, I don't know, since I could listen, which is from almost day one. You would explain that to me in various ways, because it sounds like a very high level concept for a child to understand, but I remember you going over that in different ways to me. So for
Yeah,
anyone listening, that's the child will understand.
yeah, it's totally practical. Don't the child is not some kind of a special life form. It's a person with a small body. The spirit,
Right.
same spirit. The understanding is the same understanding. They play differently, they show differently because their body is small, but they know. The child
Mhm.
know. So
Yeah.
what you have something like that. Imagine there's one person here, okay, and this person have another person here that telling him that at some points can actually control his body and get his body to say things. Okay, so you
Yeah.
have two people. So the first person is totally wonderful. This is the spirit, and whatever it's saying, whatever it's doing is beautiful. But then there's another person that tell him what to say and actually control his mouth. He's
Mhm.
controlling his mouth, yes? And
Yeah.
telling him what to do. Or actually, even a better way to explain it is imagine that there's a doll here, which is your body. Okay, there's a doll, and the
Yeah.
doll have a mouth and eyes and whatever, and
Mhm.
there is it can be controlled. It can be connected to through a network, or through the internet, or through some kind of a connection to the spirit,
Yeah.
and then it says and do amazing, beautiful thing like the spirit is. And then it can also be controlled sometimes at moment when you are tired, when you didn't eat, when you got married. It also can get connected to the devil, yes, and the devil makes it say and do terrible things.
Mhm.
Now you from the outside look at that, you're the father. If you will, there is now a show, the devil goes on, and the devil got disconnected now. So the devil got disconnected. He is not talking anymore. Okay. And now, when
Uh-huh.
everything is okay, you will go to the spirit and say, look what you've done, look what you've done, look what you've done. So the spirit will think, what I'm doing is wrong. So the good thing that the spirit usually do, it will change it
Yeah.
into bad. So the more you make the spirit wrong, the worse the behavior, the worse the spirit become. So you can
Right.
say that while you fix machines by finding what's wrong with them, spirits you fix by finding what's right with them.
Mhm.
You never find, you never handle disagreements. Never, never, never. You put agreements there. You don't. You don't. Um, intensify the disagreement. You intensify the agreements.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you would do as a practical handling or solution for anyone listening, what my dad would do is, let's say that I was I'm 5 years old and I'm crying and I have a whole, we'd call it the crying
Fine,
show.
sure.
Yeah, exactly, a crying show. And so you would just basically direct me to my room and you'd say, look, it's your body and it's your room. You can do whatever you want in your room. If you want to cry, you want to do whatever you want, go and like have fun doing it. And when you're ready to come be with us, come on out and be with us. And so I'd go to the room, and then eventually I'd like, okay, you kind of jump out of it. And then I'd come out and everything would be totally back
It
to
never
normal,
happened.
like the love. It never happened. And
Yeah.
that was the solution. And by the way, it's not like that happened that many times, like once, twice, 3, 4 times that happened. And then I kind of, as a child, you kind of stop doing that. You realize what's going, it doesn't work. It's not right. It's not, it doesn't have any, it's almost, it just disappears.
And it's, the same applies to an adult. If the adult come and your husband go crazy, and he's crazy now. He is the devil. He is crazy. And at that time, you just listen. It's just words. The words have no meaning. He says you're stupid. Okay, it's just a word. Take your hand and say stupid here 50 times. It has no power. It has the same energy as like love. Love, stupid, same power. Yes, nonsense. So they say you're stupid, and you say thank you. Amazing. Wow. Well done for saying it. I understand. And you just acknowledge him. It's like, I heard you. A machine is talking. The machine is making noise. The generator outside making noise. You don't go to argue with the generator. You just, okay, fine, there's noise now until the generator will end. Until we will bypass the load shedding will finish. Now the generator will finish and there's no more noise. Okay, this is really the attitude towards an angry person. So now it's finished. When it's finished, you go to the spirit and you find what we agree about. And we agree this, we agree this, we agree this, we agree this. Not what we didn't agree and we need new agreement. No, what we agree about. I agree that you're beautiful. I agree that you're smart. I agree that you're amazing. I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree. And the person himself will say, what was that? Why did I behave like? And he will separate. You help him to separate between himself and the devil, himself and his mind, himself and the generator outside. And the lie that everyone operate on is that if I will not show you what's wrong, you will not know. Believe me, anyone that does something wrong, even a baby, when he's doing something wrong, he knows it's wrong without anyone telling him. No one needs another person to tell him that he's wrong. When you do something wrong, automatically you know that it's wrong.
True.
Just check for yourself. When you do something wrong, you know it's wrong. You don't need someone else to tell you.
Yeah, it's amazing because everyone can see in themselves, when I do something wrong, I know it's wrong. But when anyone else does something wrong, your biggest impulse is to highlight it for them. And it's so unnecessary.
It's a must. It's like you have to because you're good. Look, I'm good. I want to help him.
Yeah.
But you just destroy him. The way to fix a person is by finding what's right with him, not what's wrong with him. And this is the biggest rule or truth for relationship and for life, because the only way to fix people or to improve people or to get the maximum out of people or to maximize the goodness of men is to find what's right about men. It goes even to the conflict between Russia and the US. So there's a big conflict, blah, 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 and Russia want to take blah, blah, blah. And before that, the US says everything that's wrong with Russia, and Russia says everything that's wrong with the US, and they're both right, but dead. Do you understand?
Right.
How right they are? Dead right.
True. Yes. It's that whole concept of insisting on being right is when you're the most wrong. when you wrap your head around that and see that playing out, it's actually so fascinating. It changes everything. You insist to be right, and that's when you're the most wrong. It's like,
yeah. If
Now-
you feel like I know I'm right, if you feel like I know I'm right, well, probably you are wrong. Because what is total rightness? Total rightness is the ability to see all the right and to be all the right and all the good at will. So
Yeah.
generally, I would say the total rightness or that wrongness would be something like that. This is let me just do that more nice, just because I can. Okay, so
no
this
problem.
is
You can take away my image, by the way, in case you want to use the whole screen.
it's fine. So this is right. This is everything. This is all the people in the world. There's 7 billion people in the world. So when you are right, you have one viewpoint. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
right. Which means there's 7,999 people that are wrong to one degree or another.
Yeah.
But what will be a true rightness? A true rightness will be that you see all the viewpoint. And when you have all the possibilities, when you are on this, how did this pill called that this guy become very smart? Do you remember the movie?
NZT in the movie Limitless with
NTZ,
Bradley
NTZ,
Cooper.
yes.
NZT, yeah.
NZT. So when you
Yeah.
end on NZT, you see all the possibilities. You are not locked on one thing. Why he's so smart in the movie? Because he has 70 billion possibilities. He has all the viewpoints. He's not
Right.
locked in one. How
Right.
stupid you are as stupid as your viewpoints are limited. This is a very stupid person.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit less stupid, bit less stupid. And what is God? The allness of all.
Right.
God is the allness of all. It's all. God is all the viewpoints. The
Yes.
allness of all. The creator.
Mhm.
This is what's actually, if we want to talk about right and wrong, is the ultimate right will be creation, which means nothing to something, total possibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing
Amazing.
to something without continuation. It will be more correct to define nothing to something without continuation.
Yeah, brilliant. I love that. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So we've covered, of course, conflict between spouses or in a relationship or with kids or even in a, it applies in a big way to Russia and the US. Now, what happens, and of course it applies to anything, but now let's say we have a situation with in business and it's conflict, full on an argument about a subject, like similar to a
Okay.
relationship. Now,
So
there's
what's happening?
yeah, go on.
What's happening in business? You have a target. You want something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not love. In love,
Right.
you are together for no reason at all. In business, you are there for the kill.
Yeah.
You want something. Yes.
Mhm.
You have
Yes,
something
true.
that you want. It means I want something. Okay. And I'm willing to share my blanket with you, but I want my share of the blanket.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not how it goes with children. It's not how it goes between nations. It's not how it should go between husband and wife. It's totally different than love. Yes. Now in business, when you are in a game, you totally at the same principle. You need to make sure that the relationship are clean, that the connection is clean.
Yeah.
And if you'll keep it clean all the time and you will not compromise day one, when the first small lie has been introduced, you will not tolerate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's applied to everyone, yes? If you will not
Yeah.
tolerate the first small lie, you will not tolerate later on the big lies.
Yeah.
You will not be controlled by the big lies. You know, the Holocaust did not started with burning Jews.
Right.
It started with small lies, with the idea that there is different kind of races that are at different levels. It's nonsense. It's like the body telling me who I am. If I have a white body or Jewish body, and even worse than white, black, it is like if I'm black and I believe in this religion, I'm better or worse than if I'm black and I believe in that religion.
Yeah.
Like the religion,
It's like
your ideas.
your thoughts are, it's not even a
It's
visible.
not even what car I drive, black car or red car or white car or yellow
Yeah.
car. It is, do the driver inside the car believe in Jesus or in Moses?
Hmm. Right. It's
Yes.
insane, of course.
It's like totally crazy. Of course, if you believe in Jesus, Jesus will save you. The car will be more safe. If you believe in Moses, you will invest. You will get another car, and so
Exactly. The difference
Jesus
between
saved,
Jesus
Moses
and,
invest.
yeah, Jesus and Moses. I love that. Jesus saved, Moses invests. It's brilliant.
So, so of course you have those things, but this is total insanity. Someone agreed to a small lie that the
Mhm.
color of the body makes a difference.
Right. And
Like
I've
the
seen
color
you
of the
in,
car makes a difference.
yeah. And I've seen that in business. I remember one time we had a meeting looking at investing in a potential business, and we were sitting there with the CEO and or the owner of the company. And anyway, he had this one thing that he mentioned about it had to do with how he views being paid. And you like honed in on that one thing, like on the, and I always was thinking like maybe it's not the biggest deal, like can we kind of move on? But that one thing was like, no, that like we are not, that was a lie. And turns out that from that, when we opened that one thing up, turns out there was, the whole core was rotten. And
Yeah. And
we
this
didn't,
business is out of business, yes, after a few
and it's out
months.
of business today. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't agree to small lies, you will not tolerate later on big lies.
Yeah.
People that agree to small lies tolerate big lies. It starts always with the small, like how a politician become corrupt, or how a criminal become a criminal. You don't start at the age of 5 killing people as a criminal.
Mhm. Right.
You start with the small lies, and
Mhm.
because the small lies has been tolerated, then there will be more lies.
100%. So for sure, you have to keep the beginning solid. But what happens, I think, with many businesses, is they don't necessarily have that thing of, they're just starting, and they don't really think about it, and they don't get all the basics right, and so on, and then they find themselves in a conflict.
Yeah,
Like, now
there
what?
was a long period of dirt,
True.
long
Yeah.
period of dirt, and there's a lot of dirt from different sources. And the bottom line is, if you're already in conflict in business, you need to decide, okay, what's going on here? Okay, am I after fixing this relationship or ending this relationship?
Yeah.
You need to make a conscious decision, because the handling is totally different.
Yeah.
If I'm after fixing the relationship, then the other person is at least willing to communicate. You can get them to communicate. So you'll communicate with them, agreements, and things will become good. But if you are willing to fix and the other person is really dirty, what does it mean, dirty? He's done so many things against you and against other people, that any help he sees as betrayal, any communication he sees as lies. He
Mhm.
is sure that the other person is totally criminal.
Right.
Well, in that kind of person requires a different handling. He can be handled. They can be handled. But there need to be some kind of a communication line with you. And if
Yeah.
there's no such kind of communication line, then you say, okay, fine. What we do, we will make sure that we putting ethics on both sides. So you come and you say, well, this is what's fair, and we are willing to do that. And you keep on giving the command, this is what's fair, and we are willing to do that. This is what's
Yeah.
fair, and we are willing to do that, and nothing else. This is what's fair, and we are willing to do that. And you repeat the command, and the magic will happen, that he will get it. The only mistake that you can do is that because he changed, you change.
Yes, true. I've seen that. And what about compromise? When does compromise come in at any point?
Not a problem. There always compromise. I'm not against compromise, but compromise everyone losing. I actually
Okay,
prefer,
yeah.
instead of compromising, to find expansion, to find something that everyone agree to, because compromise mean I lose and you lose. It's okay. It's fine. If someone wants to compromise, if he wants to lose, be my guest. I will not go for a compromise. I will find what's actually bring the biggest benefit for both of us.
Right. Yeah.
The idea of let's go for a compromise from the beginning is just a total reverse target. When I go into negotiation, I'm not looking, let's get in, I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to find the ways that will maximize the return for everyone involved.
Right.
The target is totally different. I will arrive somewhere else. If the target is, okay, we're going to compromise because everyone told me that in negotiation you need to compromise. No, you don't need to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
You need to create something amazing.
Yeah. So you need to be smart, creative, and come up with something where it's win-win.
Everyone. Yeah, everyone win, and never agree to something that will destroy the win.
Mm-hmm.
People that are dead, people that are lying, people that have a lot of dirt in their relationship will not be able to see how you can take a bad situation and to turn it into an amazing situation by maximizing the result. So they will go to a compromise. What does it mean, compromise? I already agree that I've lost. Now I just want to limit my loss. What is that? It's useless. Dead people.
Yeah, amazing.
So I will not go for compromise because as a target, it's incorrect.
Yeah.
The idea is like, don't go to compromise. I'm not going for compromise. I'm not going for habits. I'm not going for experience. I'm not going for all these things that everyone robotically going to.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does it mean, habit? It's another compromise. Well, because I'm useless, I will put a machine that will do it for me.
Mm-hmm. My habit.
Basically, a habit says, look, because I'm useless, I'll put a machine that will tell me what to do. So I have a habit. It's not me.
Yeah.
Or experience, because I don't know, because I'm not the spirit. I don't know. So I will look at my experience to tell me what to do. This is all total nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that you said it's just the wrong target and that people do go for, because how you operate, from what I've seen firsthand and just from what you talk about in the courses, is this is how it should be. This is where you should go. I get that everybody likes that target, but it's not leading most people towards success. This is. So sorry to break it to you, but this is the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very amazing. All right. So today was amazing. And I'm so glad we got to cover all the topics. I was hoping we would get through to business, relationships, a little bit about global, and we did it all, which was awesome. And I just want to read a couple of other things. I'm not going to read everything, but there was basically a lot of, this is amazing, helpful for every situation. Thank you for this. I needed this. Super powerful. Yeah, there was amazing. The highlight of my day, these live streams, the highlight of my week. Wow, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
very, very amazing. So thank you for everybody that tuned in. And what the person that was saying the highlight of my day was talking about, what the full thing she said was, soul coffee is the highlight of my day, and these live streams are the highlight of my week. So
yes.
basically, I just want to say something really quick about soul coffee, and maybe you can put the link up. But what is awesome about these discussions is we can take a subject and look at it from countless angles over 45 minutes or whatever. But the soul coffee is taking a subject and giving you about this one point about it, like a tonic that's a potion that's super condensed and is like, wow, like a coffee that you drink. And it's soul coffee. It was a nickname that actually my wife's cousin came up with. And it just gives you this like, wow, booster about one subject. So, and you get it every single day. So if you love these lives and you wish you could get a dose of it a day, get the Soul Coffee. It's $19 a month. It's like 70 cents a day. And it's definitely less than you spend on your actual coffee. And
Yeah.
and it's very, very powerful. So you can go to gprosperity.com/drink soul coffee and check it out.
Yeah. And one more thing I think about relationships that we need to cover in the next, maybe in the next one, it's relationship to money. People have a special relationship with money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually a very bad relationship.
Conflict.
Conflict.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's interesting. Your relationship with money.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
another Tuesday that we can do. I think it can be
Let's do it
amazing. And
next week.
then, yeah, maybe next week. And then someone spoke about the plan B. For me, there's never plan B.
Mm.
If you go for plan B, you already decided that you failed.
Mm-hmm.
Why people do plan B is because they think that they're useless to create on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need plan B. You need plan A, and plan A will work. Why? Because I say so.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Well, that's actually another great topic. Should you have a plan B?
Should you have plan B? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another story. Yes.
That's cool. Okay, so next Tuesday will be, and we might change the following one, but for sure next Tuesday will be your relationship with money. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then either the following one will be plan B, or we'll come up with something depending on current
Or we'll come
events.
up with plan B.
Or we'll come up with a plan B. That's so ironic. We're either gonna do plan B live stream, or we'll come up with a plan B, something else. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, this was great. Thank you so much to everyone
Thank
that
you.
tuned in. And
Thank
please
you.
share this if you enjoyed it. And thank you, Abele. I love you.
I love you, Baba. Mwah.
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 Bye.
I love you. Bye. Bye, guys.